Good morning, you guys. Thank you for joining me. It's Jesse here at Bay Boy Views. It's a nice, beautiful Tuesday. A little gloomy, but honestly, that's how I like it. I like little thin mists in the air. Today, we're going to talk about a couple of things. We're going to touch on the topic of real estate and how the Airbnb market could be an indicator of the housing crash that we've all been waiting for since the last one, which is in 2008. I don't think it's going to be as drastic or as obvious as we all believe it's going to be. I know there's a lot of people out there that are, that have just been against the FOMO, against the fear of missing out, and have been waiting for the right opportunity. They didn't rush in when the interest rates were super low. They didn't rush in and the interest rates were super low and the prices were extremely high. They didn't rush in when the prices started to drop again, and had to get a shitty interest rate. So this is for all the people out there that are like, this is gonna be my year. I don't know if it's gonna be this year or next year, but if you are looking into it and you do some type of research, look at the Airbnb prices in the areas that you want to hopefully buy a house in. And right now, I believe that the Airbnb market is over leveraged. I wouldn't say all of it. I'm just saying, for the most part, a lot of people that went in there thinking that they knew what they were doing, or they just don't have the amount of people walking through that area anymore for it to be overly profitable. And I don't blame them. A lot of people are starting to tighten up. They're starting to feel this inflation. A lot of people are not doing as many vacations, if any vacations anymore. And inflation's a real thing. Before this, freaking gas was like 3 something. Now and I live in California, so it used to be like an average of like $3.30, $3. Now it's about almost $5 at the pump. For $4.20, I've been able to get that. I go to like Arco. I like Arco. But yeah, I haven't seen a lot of push towards living a luxurious lifestyle by any people that I've seen so far. But that's probably just me. That's probably just the people I hang around with. But Airbnb prices, I do believe that once people are no longer making profit on their business, a lot of these people, they don't even run their Airbnb. They have some separate entity operate the day-to-day processes of their Airbnb, whether it's bookings, whether it's maintenance, what's that other thing, management, that they manage the whole property for you. It seems to me that the influx of Airbnb properties are gonna start weeding itself out, and it's gonna start evening out the market again. So what does that mean for us? It means that this shortage on homes to buy is gonna change, and it's gonna become a surplus for a lot of people and it's gonna be a great opportunity, because these people are in a rush to sell now, because they're not making any profit on their Airbnb property. What happens when a business doesn't make profit? They either make cuts or they sell. And I highly doubt that a lot of these people are going to start paying a second mortgage, or going to be paying their mortgage that was getting paid originally by Airbnb, by rentals, So what's the best second thing is to sell, and to sell quickly, because the prices of houses are going to go down again. And if they're still positive in equity, you either take your losses or you hold on and be greedy. So hopefully there'd be a flood of inventory thanks to the Airbnb bubble, because I think the Airbnb bubble is gonna burst before any type of real estate bubble is gonna burst. And let's see, a good indicator too of people stop going and using Airbnbs and unable to afford rent and all that kind of stuff is the unemployment rate. I did check it out the other day. I believe it was like 2 days ago. It was at like 23% unemployment rate in the nation. So this is across the board. Nowadays people can be employed, self-employed. A lot of people can be employed online. Don't even have to drive to a job or anything. So that number is pretty low, and I think it could be lower. But coming on with this whole recession thing, and another indicator why I think the recession is going to happen, and why I think it's going to be more of a hit against normal people, or people that don't normally miss out on these type of opportunities, like having a good steady job, especially for the last couple of years. Like, let's take Google, let's take Facebook, that or Meta, when they made all those cuts, just like Twitter. They made all those cuts, and that's a pretty big space to be in, you know what I mean? And what they ended up doing is they started cutting off the fat off the business, just like any business does. And what were the first people to go is the employees. They didn't need them anymore. And now they have to go find another job. They need to do blah, 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 blah. I don't think they're going to have any trouble to find another job, but that's a good indicator that they don't need so many people right now, especially in the age of AI. So just know that unemployment is probably going to skyrocket once all these businesses feel the crunch of the inflation, and they just need to start letting people go. I don't think it's going to be anytime soon within this year. I think Joe Biden's going to do everything he can to keep people's jobs and to keep everything aligned. So I wouldn't worry too much about unemployment. I'm just saying that if you see unemployment shoot up, then there's probably a good sign that people can't make their mortgages. And some people are living mortgage to mortgage. A lot of people aren't delinquent on their mortgage, mostly because they probably know that this is the most important thing, is to have a roof over our kids' heads, or a roof over our heads. So for all you people struggling out there, just keep hustling, keep doing what you got to do. Listen to Dave Ramsey. If you don't know who Dave Ramsey is, he'll definitely change your life. Just live beneath your means, and have a good, steady, healthy life. Hustle for a little bit, get that emergency fund going. And I'm not getting paid for any of this. I'm just promoting it because I live by it and I swear by it. This man has set the groundwork for everybody. So another thing I wanted to talk about is, just because I have a cousin in the space, is mom and pop landlords versus private equity firms that are looking to buy up everything in real estate and have you rent out from them. All right. So recently my cousin had a tenant. All right. He just kicked him out. He was living there for about a year. Last month they didn't pay. Told him to keep the deposit. Shit don't work like that, okay? The deposit was his last month's rent, apparently. So basically they trashed their house last month. Didn't give a fuck about him no more. They were like, fuck you, you got money. That's not the point. My cousin is starting his real estate stuff not just because he wants to create money or create housing for your fucking bitch ass. He does it because this is something that he has put his blood, sweat, and tears into. Whether it's caulking up the bathroom or the freaking shower, whether it's, laying down foundation, whether it's cement, this is all things that he's done by himself with his dad. Like, he's learning all the steps along the way as he's growing. So for somebody to go in there and to just tell them, you know what, you're making money off of me, like, no, motherfucker, I'm paying the mortgage with your money, like, you know what I mean, so we can both live here. I'm paying them, like, because he has a duplex. Sorry, I didn't he has a duplex, so he's living on the other side, the renter's living on the other side, they're paying his rent. I think he's like pocketing $100. $100. So thankfully he lives in Ohio. He doesn't have to worry about the whole renter squatter thing out here in California. That's almost like, I feel bad and for those type of people, because there's nothing worse than having to force somebody out of your house that you own and have no rights to kick them out. Because that's just, it's honestly some bullshit. Here in California, a lot of these people have gone through a lot of hard times. A lot of them are older people. A lot of them have been living in the place for like decades, and it's just been new management types things. But a lot of those people are ending up forced to sell. And once they're forced to sell, the mom and pop landlords that you guys are probably used to are probably not going to be around much longer. Especially with how the market is, and a lot of people are more than happy to see that 3% go up year after year and hike up your rent. So, if you got a good landlord that doesn't raise your rent every year, that isn't bugging you, that isn't like checking up on the house every freaking 3-4 days, enjoy your good landlord, appreciate him, buy him make him fucking banana bread or something, because you're living the life. And these private equity firms, they're probably gonna, like BlackRock or something, they're probably gonna buy up all these houses. They're gonna look at your history of what you make every year. They're gonna be like, oh, he just got a raise, let's fucking increase 3%. He can pay for it. Look at how much he's making a year. They're not gonna give a fuck. They're not gonna. And then you're gonna complain to who's the manager? The manager don't know you. The manager don't know shit. The manager's gonna be like, this is my job, this is my boss told us that, blah 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 blah. Sorry, here's a fucking post-it on your fucking door saying you owe us more rent now. So, if I could say anything, is just appreciate your mom and pop landlords a lot more. Make sure that you take care of them and that you appreciate what they're doing, because what they're really doing is not making a shit ton of money off you. What they're doing is they're paying the mortgage, and you guys are in a contract together. You guys are helping each other. You get to live in the house, you get to live free, you get to do whatever the fuck you want, as long as you don't trash the house. There's also, you gotta be respectful. But these private equity firms, you can trash this fucking place. I'm pretty sure they hope you do, so that the insurance comes in, pays for everything that you trash, looks at everything, and then they refix it up and fucking make it nicer than it was before, and barely had to put any money into it. So, these private equity firms, they're not here to lose. They're not dumb. They're fucking smarter than all of us. Trust me. These are some of the brightest people coming out of Yale, Harvard, and Princeton, and they're all about the numbers. They are number crunchers all day, every day. So, just be careful with that. That's really all I had to say about that. And here in California, Joe Biden has, made it his mission to fight homelessness. He said he projects that, in the next year or so, that the homelessness around the country is going to go down. I don't know how that's going to work in California, but if you're out here and you got vacant lots or you got vacant whatever, you should probably, look out for your shit. Because they're probably going to shove homeless people in there. But anyways, Now let's move on to this other topic. I have been watching this whole World War III thing, pan out. If you don't believe we're in a war right now, you don't have to. We're definitely in high tensions with people that don't fucking like us here in the United States, alright? I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. We got Russia over there with NATO, trying to take out Ukraine. I'm not gonna get into that. If I was to think about what Russia's doing, I think that Russia is getting tired of being bullied by NATO, because they made an agreement. They were like, hey, we're not gonna move east. They moved east. Hey, we're not gonna put Ukraine under NATO. They basically fucking did. Hey, we're not gonna blow up your pipeline, blew it up. So I'm not no Russia person. I don't give a fuck about them. I'm not really here to fucking babysit what goes on in the world. That's why we elect officials to do this shit, and they're doing a pretty piss poor job about it. Like, look at what we did in Afghanistan, where we left fucking hundreds, fucking all kinds of tanks out there. I don't know what the fuck was going on there. If anything, it sounds more like a setup. It sounds like maybe we had plans for the Afghanistan people to fucking take that stuff, and it's gonna be something crazy going on. Anyways, I don't care. My biggest thing is geographically, if they take over Ukraine becomes Russia. They have that territory over the I think it's the Red Sea, and that is a canal where all the money flows through from Saudi Arabia out to the rest of the world. So wouldn't be the dumbest thing if Russia did that. Moving over to who we're going to talk about today, and that's Taiwan. So Taiwan has been a free country for the most part ever since probably I was like a little kid, 90s, 80s. Back in 2016, their president, I'm not trying to fuck it up, but it's Tsai Ing-wen, I believe, a pro-freedom person, started saying like we are independent, free Ukraine, or free Taiwan, and let us be ourselves, just like how Hong Kong was over there in China. And if you know anything about the Chinese, they ain't with that shit. They don't give a fuck. They're gonna come take you and shut the fuck up about it. Alright, if anybody knows about China, they're not people to mess with. They do not care. Their interest is only to push the Chinese people forward, and anybody that stands in their way is getting demolished, and they're not going to feel bad about it. So if you're over here sympathizing with them, don't sympathize with them. They don't care. So this whole freedom from China thing, it boiled down into this movement called the Sunflower Movement. You can look it up on YouTube. So basically what it stands for is freedom of China, basically. And China and Taiwan had a verbal agreement where they are both a part of China. They are both part of the motherland. So I do understand why China feels like they have the right to step over the seas and go and take over Taiwan as they see fit. That's just how they're wired. They do not care about individual freedoms. So Nancy Pelosi has actually been a big contributor to Taiwan over these years, whether it's sticking her foot in there for industrial reasons. If you know anything about Taiwan, and probably why the U.S. is so interested in keeping ties with the Taiwanese people, is because of their infrastructure that they have out there. So their infrastructure is a big chunk of where all of us get our microchips, whether it's your phones, whether it's your cars. I don't know if you remember earlier this year, last year, where all the car lots were vacant. Couldn't get chips in Taiwan. If they don't make chips, same shit's gonna happen. We're not gonna have the latest and greatest, chips off the market for our phones, for our cars, etc., etc. So American people have been pumping money into this place to have this infrastructure built. The Taiwanese strive off of free enterprise, and the Chinese people want no part about it. They want Taiwan to be under the Chinese rule so that the Chinese can dictate what everything happens in there. And obviously with the tensions growing here, and we're gonna call it World War III, with the tensions growing, obviously if they have power over Taiwan, the United States, microchips and whatever they do. So my biggest thing that I see that's going on is that AI is going to be the next latest and greatest thing. It already is. So if you control the microchips that are made for the AI systems, you pretty much won the game. And that's looking at it as a chessboard. So the United States has very high interest of not letting that happen and not letting the Chinese people take over Taiwan. And it's understandable. AI is a very, very highly sought out tool right now. Can do almost anything. Knowledge is through the roof. Fundamentally can make essays on top of essays within minutes. I got nothing bad to say about AI. If you haven't seen what AI has been able to do, it's been able to go on TaskRabbit, hire people, make people a whole bunch of fucking money, a whole lot of shit. People have been cheating in their essays. People have, AI is definitely gonna change the foundation of our everyday life. So what better time than for China to go invade and for us to, just let it happen? It's not going to happen. The United States has too much money, too much invested into Taiwan and their infrastructure. So what do I think is going to happen if, the Chinese government does go over there? Because they've already been doing this stuff. They've been sending their I wouldn't say airstrikes, but they've been sending their infantry out there, having shows of fucking showing their muscles out there, whether it's in the air, in their navy. They really don't give a fuck. The Chinese people really don't give a fuck. And us as Americans should be concerned, because this would probably raise the tensions here in America for us to go to war if they do take over Taiwan. And if we're not, we're probably just gonna blow up all the infrastructure and then peace. Because it's gonna take a long fucking time for it. Because if we could build that shit right now here in America and forget about Taiwan, shit, you think we probably wouldn't have already? That infrastructure probably took a long time to build, a lot of fucking knowledge that we just don't have over here in America. So I understand that it's gonna take years on top of years in order to have that type of thing here in America, or for that type of knowledge to go to the Chinese. So like I said, we're highly invested. So if you're looking out at the news, just know that that's probably one of the biggest reasons of why we're going to such lengths to protect Taiwan. They probably also have a lot of resources out there. I'm not 100% sure on that aspect, but I just want to let you guys know what's going on and what I learned about Taiwan this week. Other than that, hopefully pretty soon we'll be able to buy some homes, you guys. I know I'm excited about it. I hope you guys are excited about it. If you like this video, go ahead and give us a like, comment, subscribe. Let us know how we're doing.